Folks, so I'm gonna go over what I did to this body before I'm gonna paint it, because it's pretty much prepped now. I'm ashamed to admit I didn't film the stripping process, but it would have been really tedious. I just used a heat gun and a scraper, and that was quite easy to get off. It took me like an hour or something like that. Just be careful with the heat gun so you don't burn your hands or slip with the scraper like I did. So only problems I had was with the scraper. You can see some of these spots here. I didn't actually slip, but the wood is soft. It's alder 3-piece body, as you can see. There's like a middle centerpiece there and 2 pieces on the side. So the wood is quite soft. Under the lacquer there was like a really thick layer of like a primer, and then color layer and gloss layer on this. But so you can see a couple of spots here, like where I scraped a bit too hard and pushed into the wood. And what I had to do after that, so that I don't have to sand too much of the body, I just fill these spots with super glue and flatten it with like 240 sanding paper. And this was one of the relic spots I had. I filled that up with super glue, so the paint will hide anything you can see, but if you can feel it, like these spots here, you can see there's like scrapes. You can see them, but you can't feel them actually. Then the paint will hide it. But if you can feel it, the paint will sink into them and it will show on the final product. I know I'm pretty confident in my analysis of this, but we shall see how it turns out. I think I will get the paints this week. I'm just gonna use a color layer and a clear coat and see how it goes, because I am going to relic this. It's gonna be a nitro finish. On the back side you can see I have a lot more marks that I have filled in, because these would have been like a pain in the ass to sand away. I could have done it, but it's way easier to fill them in, because the paint will hide these spots and it will not affect anything. It's just like a minor scrape in the wood. Of course I tried to like use some water and the heat gun to buff these out, because the wood is quite like responsive to moisture. You can usually, if it's a dent, you can steam it out, but these are like scrapes, so I lost some wood here, so I had to fill them in with the super glue. And this is something you should do to get like a decent paint finish, even if you're using like I'm gonna use a pink color and it's not gonna be transparent. So even if you're gonna use a solid color, you still want your wood to be completely flat, because nitro will sink into any little dent you have on your body. It's not completely prepped yet. I'm gonna sand it just before I paint it and clean the body with like a mineral turpentine to get rid of all the grease from my hands. So I think I'm gonna try to film the painting part. I'm gonna do it either outside, or if the weather won't allow it, I'll make like a makeshift paint booth in my parents' outdoor garage. I might do that even if the weather is nice, because nitro is quite a delicate paint. I painted a couple of guitars and it's always worked out pretty well. So we shall see. Stick around if you want to see the final product.